Hi everybody, welcome back to the channel. About a month ago I was up at Loch Chon in the Trossachs, and I said at the time I was looking forward to coming back when the autumn colours had developed a little bit more. Well, I'm back, and have a look at this. Now, unfortunately it's a wee bit windier today, so we don't have the amazing reflections that we had, but as I'm sure you can see from the trees there, we do have some well developed autumnal colours, so we're going to work with that today. I'm going to head just over here into that little peninsula that I went down on the last visit. Let's go. If you saw the last video, then you'll know I pretty much got to the end of the little peninsula, declared that it looked like it might be nice for another photo trip, and then left again. So what I'm going to do today is this side of the peninsula I didn't go near. I pretty much just headed back through the trees there, back towards the car. But what I'm going to do now is head up that way and see if we can find any particularly photogenic trees. It's not a bad view, is it? I think if I can get clear of the trees, this little island with the mountains beyond might just be the first shot of the morning. Let me think out loud here. I'm wondering if this fallen log here could be used as a foreground interest, which leads the eye up to that little island and then the loch beyond. The problem is, as you can quite clearly see, the log isn't actually in the water, so there's going to be quite a bit of space between the end of the log and the water. So I'm going to have to try and minimise that somehow, probably by getting closer to the log, getting down low, and hopefully that will effectively shrink this distance here. In reality that's about 6, maybe even 8 feet, so I'm going to have to get down pretty low to minimise that, but I think it's got a bit of potential. Yeah, I took that shot with the log. I'm not sure it worked. I discovered when I got down low, you had two options. You could either get down so low that the end of the log, the end of the log cut into the bank and stuck up into the loch in the background, or you could raise yourself slightly higher and drop the end of the log. Why do I find that so difficult to say? Anyway, drop the end of the log into the grass and leave the edge of the loch uncut, if you know what I mean. I think I prefer it with the end of the log below the edge of the loch, but I've taken both anyway, and I'll compare when I get back, and I'll put my favourite on the screen in a moment. But before I do that, I've just noticed these reeds here, which I think have got some potential. There's also some little grasses sticking out of the water. So I'm thinking if I can get right up to the water's edge, yeah, a bit like that, then that might have some potential. You're using these reeds now as a foreground interest. The water is relatively calm here, so you've got some nice reflections, and the island and the mountains in the background. Right, again, as with the log, let me just show you this through the camera. The problem we have here is, where do you place those grasses relative to the island? If I go down too far, then obviously the grasses cut into the island. If you go up too high, then you get a clear separation, but then the grasses are less relevant in terms of the image. So it's a compromise. I think somewhere maybe around there is probably the best. You get just a little bit of overlap, but there's clearly some water between the grass and the island. How's this for an alternative view? Well, now grasses front and centre, the island central. And of course, just as I was about to take that shot, wind came up, totally destroyed the reflection and ruined the shot. I've taken it anyway, but we now, as you can see, we now no longer have that nice reflection that we had. We could definitely have done with some direct light on the island. I like this old tree here, and these yellowing trees in the background there. But that old tree there right at the waterfront, I quite like that. I'm going to go over there and see if there's an angle that I can get, maybe using that as foreground and the island as background, or just a shot of the tree itself. Yeah, I think perhaps there isn't a shot with that tree after all. It's got a beautiful tree though, isn't it? But it's a bit cluttered around the base, and I'm not quite sure I could find a way of making that tree stand out against the more cluttered background. Do you think that works? This is that tree that I didn't think I could get a shot of, and I've come to the other side of the loch, and now we've got these leaves all backlit, and you just have the outline of the tree. You've got that little yellowy orange fern there just catching the light as well, which breaks up the otherwise dark foreground. Do you know what? I'm going to grab it. Is that not typical? Just as I leave and I start to make my way back, the light comes out. I wonder if there's a shot with a light on the island and these old dead trees as the foreground. I might actually run back and see if we can get that before the light fades. Light faded before I got to it. Right, heading back up and over that little hill to the other side of the loch, that little bay, and hopefully we'll find some images to be had in the trees between here and there. That light keeps coming and going, and this little hill that I'm going to go over does have some nice colourful trees there, so with a bit of luck we'll find one or two compositions, because we have, as you can no doubt see, some direct light now, and it's backlighting these yellow trees, or yellow leaves. That might give us a couple of images. And those trees look pretty impressive backlit like that. Right, back up to the highest point again, and as you can probably see, we've lost the light again. It's kind of coming and going here. To be fair, the weather forecast was actually for rain, so the fact I've had any direct light is a bonus. I like the way the light is just hitting the base of that tree there, and then in the distance you've got these lovely autumnal colours. I'm wondering if there's a kind of an intimate shot. I'll grab it before the light fades again. Right, I quite like this scene, but unfortunately we've lost the light that was drawing me to it in the first place. Just here, there's some leaves which were being, they were casting their shadow on the grey, uncovered bare part of that rock. And I'm quite into my shadows at the moment, so I thought I'd grab that where that was kind of the main subject, but it was off to one side, if you see what I mean, because I wanted to include the background, and the background is these trees, that kind of little glade, and then the colour change in the trees disappearing up the hill in the background. So probably in terms of composition around there, but the light was better. So I was still shooting handheld, so I'm hoping that I got that. What about this for a woodland scene? I like this moss covered boulder here. You get the fallen log, these nice trees in the background with some autumnal colours on them, and then in the distance the mountain is still catching the light, we seem to have lost the light again here. I don't know if the sun's dipped behind the hill on the other side or whether it's just another cloud, but yeah, I quite like that. Foreground, kind of mid-ground, background. Focusing on here. Yeah, I definitely lost the light. That's a shame. I had some potential there. The light certainly seems to be better on this side as compared to where I've been. So I'm going to cross over this little stream and see if we can find an image or two on the other side. And I've noticed there, right there, you've got a beautiful big orange leaf tree, so I'm going to head to that first. Right, I've come round a little bit more to the left, and I'm going to confess I've already taken the shot because I didn't want to run the risk of losing the light. So basically the shot is a close-up of these amazing leaves, that little patch of light hitting the trunk of the tree, and then the overarching branch, and then these little bare trunks in the background. That is absolutely beautiful. I'm going to get down a bit lower and see if we can make something of these mossy mounds and exclude a bit more sky, because that'll help with the exposure. But that is just absolutely beautiful. Yeah, that's my most photogenic tree so far, I think. Right. Let's see what else we have. This is that same tree, but from the other side. Still looks like it would be pretty impressive if we had some direct light. The sun, as you can see, is just at the end of that branch now, so I'm having to be careful to exclude that. But if we had some direct light backlighting these leaves, then I think that might be a nice shot. Another angle on the same tree. Yeah, it looks like we've lost the light, but it's not gone behind the cloud this time. It's dipped below that ridge, which means it's not coming back, I'm afraid. So I think I may have to call it a day for this particular location. That's a beautiful tree. I might come back when we've got some snow on the ground and see if we can make something with that tree again. Yeah, another viewpoint from directly in front now. As you can see, the sun is just clipping the tops of the trees now. Everything else is pretty much in darkness. Yeah, I'm coming back again to shoot that tree again when the conditions are better. Oh, can you imagine that in fog? Wow. Right, that's us for Loch Chon again. Hope you enjoyed. We didn't quite get the dramatic colours I was hoping for, and we certainly didn't get the reflections that we got last time, but still, it was a good way of spending a couple of hours. So if you enjoyed the video, give us a little thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, then feel free to hit subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, bye.